Most stories have the same basic parts. There's always the telling of the backstory. There's always a climax. There's always a resolution. But generally, most stories, there's what the guy named Gustav Freytag, a playwright and an author, he called this the rising action. It's the moment in the story where things begin to shift and everything is heading up to that final climax moment in the story. So in Batman Begins, it's when Bruce Wayne as a young boy sees his aunt or his mom and dad killed in an alleyway. And decides that he's going to fight for justice. He's going to keep that from happening to anybody else, and eventually becomes the Batman. In Star Wars A New Hope, it's when Luke Skywalker returns with Obi-Wan and the droids, and he sees that his aunt and uncle have been murdered, and so he decides that there's no reason why he shouldn't go with Obi-Wan to Alderaan. In The Wizard of Oz, it's when Dorothy realizes she's not in Kansas anymore and she needs to find a way to get home. In all of these stories, there's that major turn in the story. Something happens, the character is put on a trajectory that leads to the ultimate climax in the story. Scripture also has the same thing. Last week, we got the backstory to Scripture. We met Adam and Eve. We were introduced to God who has existed for eternity past as Trinity, this God that can create out of nothing. And we left the garden in a perfect paradise. And so this Sunday, as we continue our sermon series in Genesis chapter 3, we are going to see what happens next. We're going to see this major shift in the story. So I want to encourage you to come and walk through, long story short, our current sermon series with us. We'll be in Genesis chapter 3, gathering at 10:30 at Pocosin Baptist Church. Hope to be with you to see what happens next. See you then.